to your first session of Find Your Balance. This session will repeat, so you'll hear me say your first session, even on days when it is no longer your first session. But this is A1, which means there are 4 different components to Find Your Balance: an A, a B, a C, and a D. And there's level 1, level 2, level 3, etc. for all of them. So this is the first session of the first level. So you will be doing this 30-minute session once every 2 weeks. And then at some point you'll move up to the level 2 version. And the skill that we are training here for A, the letter A, is associated with the skill of rewriting yourself on 2 feet with your eyes open. And all of those individual components make a difference. I talk more about that in one of the orientation videos, but whether you have your eyes open or closed, whether you're balancing on 1 feet or 2 feet, and whether you're focusing on, rewriting yourself from going off balance or keeping your feet in the same position where they are and working with different kind of permutations of other parts of your body, all of those are going to be training different components of balance. And they are all included in this program. So, start with a nice, comfortable stance. Ideally, your feet are bare. Bare feet means that you get more information coming into the bottom of your feet. You can feel the surface of the ground underneath your feet. And we want to train that. We really want to wake up the bottoms of your feet. For most people, they're pretty sleepy because they're always in socks and shoes. So we want to wake them up. So bare feet, comfortable surface, feet underneath the hips. And to begin with, I just want you to place your mind in your feet. And that means you're not thinking about your feet. You are feeling all the sensations coming from your feet. So I feel the bottoms of my feet in contact with the floor. I feel the cool air on the tops of the surfaces of my feet. I feel the weight of my body pressing my feet down into the floor, and that's distributed differently. There's really not a lot of weight in the middle of my foot, where the arch of my foot is. There's a lot of weight in the heel of my foot. There's some through the ball, and then very lightly my toes are resting on the floor. And now, keeping your mind in your feet, continuing to just feel all the sensations coming from your feet. I just want you to let yourself start to sway left to right. So what's happening now is we're changing the weight distribution. This is also called shifting weight, because all you're doing is you're shifting weight from not only one part of the foot to another part of the foot, but also from one foot to another foot. And as you're doing this, feel free to take a little step. I'm noticing I'm going to widen my stance a little bit so I can more comfortably shift my weight. So make whatever adjustments you need to make. Continue to just sway left to right. And notice what's happening through the rest of your structure as you're swaying. So when I'm more over to my right, I have like a little bit of a bend through my right knee. I can feel some tension through my right hip because the musculature of my hip is working now harder than it was when my weight was on both feet. I can feel that my upper body is aligned more over my right side. And then obviously all that becomes true on the left when I have my weight on the left foot. Now we're going to change the sway, and I'm going to change my stance so you can see here. Now we're going to sway front to back. Eyes are open the whole time. So we have this front to back movement. feel free to see, test the limits of this. So how far back can I go before I need to catch myself and come forward again? How far forward can I go before my heels come off the ground? And I start to go into like a, whoop, little releve, to use the ballet terminology. And again, with this back and forth sway, same thing applies. Notice what's happening in the rest of your structure. Whoa, I almost lost it. So when you're back on your heels, when your weight is back on your heels, where do you feel tension? What muscles in your body are working to hold you upright here? When your weight is all the way forward over your toes, where do you feel tension? What muscles of your body are working to keep you upright here? So we have this back and forth sway. And now, third version, we're going to combine the left and the right in the back and forth, and we're just going to go in a circle. So we'll go in a clockwise circle to the right. Imagine there's a clock. You're standing on the clock face. 12 o'clock is directly in front of you. 6 o'clock is directly behind you. 3 o'clock is all the way to the right. 9 o'clock is all the way to the left. So we're just going to go 12 o'clock. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and repeat all the way around the surface of the clock. Continuing to notice what adjustments are you making in the rest of your structure as you shift your weight in this circular pattern. What adjustments are you making without even thinking about it? Because your body knows how to do this. So there's an incalculable number of tiny adjustments that are happening every single moment of this sway. Let's go counterclockwise now. So we go from 12 o'clock, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 12, and repeat. So we're making a counterclockwise circle. Continuing to notice sensations that are coming in from your feet, from the bottom of the feet, as your weight travels all around every aspect of the bottom of your foot. What do you notice? Let's do one more, counterclockwise circle. Yourself a little shake, or just take a second to reset. Last pattern is not actually a pattern. I shouldn't have used that word. It's just random. So now, anything goes. Yeah? Let yourself sway any direction, front, back, side, in a circle. The only stipulation or condition is that my feet are not moving. My feet are sort of fixed to the floor, glued to the floor. But I'm trying to see how much I can shift my weight without needing to take a step. And again, feel free to change your stance. If you want like a wider stance or a more narrow stance, totally fine. Keep the feet parallel and facing forward. But wider or narrow, up to you. So just go in this random pattern. We'll just do this for another 30 seconds. Just notice. can get a little more creative. I'm like letting my, getting in some like spinal roll as I go back and forth. But feel free to do whatever works for you. Alright. This is where it gets fun. So we're in a parallel stance, feet facing forward. We've got that left to right sway. And now, keeping the eyes open, as you do this left to right sway, the next time you sway to the right, go past your balance point and fall and let your feet catch you. Now this is the important thing. I didn't make a plan. I have zero plan after overbalance. My plan is, I'm going to show you to the left now. I'm swaying left to right. My feet are parallel, pointing forward. My eyes are open. I'm just shifting my weight, left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot. The next time I go to the left, all I know is that I'm going to go past the edge of my balance. And beyond that, I don't make a plan. I don't go past the edge of my balance really fast. I don't throw myself that way, right? Because then I would leave the ground and then I'd have to like catch myself in some other way. It's gentle, but I let my body figure out what to do. And this is how our bodies learn. This is how children learn to move. So I go left, I don't know. That's what happened. So I want you to get used to this experience of actually overbalancing, and then your feet catch you. And now if it feels really, really scary, you can do this close to a wall. So if I'm going to sway to the right, I've now got a wall to my right. And so when I sway to the right, I put a hand on the wall to help me catch myself. I can do the same thing to the left. I've got a wall here, swaying left to right. I go to the left, and there's a wall to help me. The other thing you can do if it feels scary is you can slow down that moment before you overbalance. So I'm swaying right to left. I'm going to overbalance to the right, but I go real slow. Still good, still good. There's my edge, there's my edge. Super tiny. Really, really, really minimal. Almost no speed, yeah? If you feel more comfortable, I'm going to overbalance to the left now. I'm just like not even really gonna think about it. So I want you to take like another minute to play with that now. This is also something that I would encourage you to do intermittently just throughout the day when you're not doing this program. And keep going as I'm talking. Don't stop doing it even as I continue to talk. Just keep playing at your own pace, left and right. You go too far. See what happens. Every single time your body finds a different solution to the problem of how do I rewrite myself. It's never the same. Couple more. You can also play with where are you looking as this happens. Try not to look down at the floor. Try to keep your eyes up, looking around at the space that you're in. As you have this experience of overbalancing and then catching yourself. Okay, on to the next one. Front to back. So we start the same way. We have a weight shift. Weights over the heels, weights over the toes. Swaying front to back. And again, I don't make a plan. But the next time I go forward, all I know is that I'm going to go too far. I'm going to go to the back. I have no plan. I don't know what's going to happen. All I know is that I'm going to overbalance, and then I'm going to trust my body to figure it out. Now obviously, not giving my body more than it can handle. This is a very controlled situation. We're moving at very low speed in a safe environment. So it's reasonable to trust my body here, right? I'm not asking too much of my body. So I go back, really slow. I catch myself. For everyone, the point at which you overbalance and need to catch yourself is going to be different. That depends on so many things about your body. We go forward, overbalance, and I catch myself. I'll show a real slow, small forward one. And again, do this right now as I'm talking if you're not already. But do the forward and back sway and then start to practice this overbalancing and rewriting yourself. So really slow. I slowed it down. Still good. Almost lost it. There it is. Tiny little step. And we go back. Really small. Almost lost it. There it is. Tiny little step. Take another minute. Play around with that. Forward and back. Always keeping the feet in this parallel stance here. Again, you can play with where you're looking in the room. Couple more. Last one. Here, one more. Okay. So we've done left, right, and forward, back. Now we go to that random pattern. So you're just going to be weight shifting in all directions. Your feet are still in this parallel stance, about hips width apart, wider or narrower depending on your preference and your body. And I'm swaying all kinds of directions, and now I don't really know when I'm going to overbalance. I don't know if it's going to be to the back, or to the left, to the right, to the front. Going back to that clock analogy, right? I could go on any single one of these numbers. 12 o'clock, 12:15, 12:30, 1:30, 2 o'clock. You can overbalance in any direction, right? So imagine you've got this clock still, and you're just randomly swaying on this clock face. How many different times, so to speak, how many different angles can you find to overbalance and then catch yourself? It's a little game. So if you're not doing this already, start doing it now. Swaying randomly here. Just like, and you could even take a little bit to just sway and weight shift until suddenly, there's an overbalance, and you catch yourself. And so we start to learn, keep going, don't stop swaying and overbalancing. We start to learn that the body knows what to do without making a plan. I don't need a plan. My feet will put themselves where they need to be. Now I don't need a plan, but I do need to be present. I do need to be feeling my body. If the body is not feeling the ground, if the body is not feeling itself, if the body is not actually in touch with its environment, then you could get into trouble. Because then the body can't respond and react in the ways that it needs to in order to save you as you fall. The body has to be feeling where it is in space, feeling what's happening. And if the body is actively in touch with its environment, then it will solve the problem. Let's do a couple more. Try to find an angle you haven't found yet. Keeping those eyes open. All right. So we have now gone through a lot of weight shifting. Left, right, forward, back, circles, random. A lot of rewriting. Left, right, forward, back, random. Now we're going to make an adjustment to the positioning of our feet and do the same thing. So we're still working with 2 feet on the ground because this is not single leg balance. That's a whole other component of the program. We're still having the eyes open because it's not closed eye balance. That's a whole other component of the program. We're keeping our body upright. We're not tilting our head to the point when the world goes upside down, because that's another component of the program too. This is eyes open, keeping the head upright, both legs balancing. So take your right foot out behind you. And I've got my foot at kind of a 45-degree angle, right? This would be facing parallel to my left foot. This would be turned out 90 degrees to my left foot. This is about 45 degrees. The width of your stance, right? How far your foot is behind you, how much your foot is out to the side, it'll be a little bit different for everybody. So play around with it, yeah? And now we're gonna go right. So now here, I've got my knees bent a little bit more. It's a little bit more of an athletic stance, yeah? So keeping this athletic stance, I'm gonna go into a random weight shift pattern. So I'm swaying left, right, front, back. My knees are more involved now because I have this wider stance. So when I'm forward, I've got a big knee bend. When I'm back, I've got a big old knee bend, yeah? And put your mind in the rest of your structure and notice what's happening in the rest of your body as you shift your weight and sway. Just checking out this position. Now we're going to switch. Stepping the right foot back forward. Step the left foot out to the side. Again, here's my left foot parallel to my right. Here's my left foot perpendicular to my right. This is 45 degrees, pretty much in the middle of those two options. Find the width and the length. That feels good to you. Take a little bend in the knee and just shift your weight from your left foot to your right foot. Forward and back, side to side. Let the rest of your body make whatever adjustments you need to make to continue to shift your weight. So we're going right to random here. We're not doing front, back, side, side, clock. We're just going right to random. Take another minute, just like check that out. I'm also just kind of seeing what's available to me with my upper body. How much can I turn? But mostly I'm focused on this weight shift. Okay. Now we get to the fun part. We got the right foot out to the back, yeah? 45-degree angle. Length and width of the stance is your prerogative. So here, again, I'm in this random weight shift, but at some point I am going to overbalance. I come back, I take my stance, I've got my right foot out to the side. I don't know when it's going to happen, but at some point, I'm going to overbalance. Very different situation than when the feet were parallel under the hips. So now I've got this big distance between my feet. So for example, if I'm leaning back, that's a very different situation when my feet are that far apart from each other. Or if I'm going all the way towards my back foot, I have to go really, really over that back foot before I need to lose my balance and rewrite myself. So we got the right foot behind, and start playing with this now. Again, be conservative. Don't throw more at your body than your body can handle, but trust your body. So I'm gonna lean right in between the two middle of my feet here, really slow, and then I have to step to catch myself. I'm gonna do the same thing to the back. I'm just gonna lean back, right in between my feet, nice and slow, 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 slow. And I let my feet catch myself, yeah? Start to play around. See what you notice. Another minute here. Whew. Take a second. I'll be very curious to hear, after you've completed this one, how that was for you. And now we're going to do the other stance. So I step my left foot back. 45-degree angle, length and width of the stance, your prerogative. And random sway, random weight shift, and then lose your balance in a gentle way. And then find your balance. Name drop. Be curious about that moment. That last moment before, like, when do you actually lose your balance? It's a very subtle moment. Or sometimes not so subtle, actually. Sometimes it's a very obvious moment. Take another minute here with the left foot back. I'm never making a plan. I'm never deciding which foot is going to catch me. I'm never thinking about where I'm going to put my feet to save me. I let my body figure that out. And that is how your body gets more intelligent. Not through concepts and plans and analysis, but direct experience. Being in relationship with your environment. Couple more. All right. Take a second to shake it out. And just think back through all the things that we did. We started just by feeling our feet and the information coming into the bottom of our feet. We had a weight shift, swaying right and left, noticing what adjustments were being made in the rest of the structure as we did that. Same thing, forward and back. Same thing clockwise. Same thing counterclockwise. Same thing in a random pattern. From there, we went to actually losing our balance. swaying right to left, and overbalancing and finding our balance again. Name drop. Then same thing, front to back. Overbalancing and rewriting ourselves. Your body just saved you from falling a bunch of times in a row. Who knows how many times you did that today? However many times that you overbalanced today and then your body caught you, your body is that much better at saving you from falling.